So back a while ago, I made a video where I gave you 10 bands and artists that are extremely popular within the music community that I just can't seem to get into. And there was actually better reception for that list than I thought. I thought a lot of people were going to hate me because I do say before that video, doesn't necessarily mean I hate that band or artist. It's just kind of like one of those bands where I think what they're doing is fine, it's just not my cup of tea. And today, I have 10 more for you. Well, I actually only have 5 more for you, as the other 5 are going to come from my good buddy Entertainment Fanatic Reviews, which I'll let him introduce himself right here.
Hey, how's it going? My name is Esley from Entertainment Fanatic Reviews, and I want to thank my good friend Austin from Austination TV for letting me take part in this video, which is pretty much about 5 popular bands that we cannot find ourselves to get into. And today I'll be talking about some 5 that may be a bit controversial. I know that Austin likes 4 out of 5 of these bands, I believe, so this one's going to be a bit controversial.
But yeah, with that out of the way, let's just start it off with the guests' first pick.
So coming in at number 1 is Kiss. I'm going to be honest, I respect the aesthetic a lot more than I, enjoy their music. However, I'm a big fan of the song that talks about rock and rolling all night and partying every day, which is a childhood favorite of mine. I think it was on Tony Hawk's Underground, and I think Kiss had their own level in that game, which was pretty weird. But I don't know, I can't bring myself to... I think that's like the only song that I like by them. I have gone and tried to listen to a few of their songs to see if I can get in the mood of their music. I do like their guitar riffs, and Gene Simmons does seem a bit out there. He seems like a cool dude, I guess, but yeah, I just can't find myself to get into Kiss.
Okay, so my first pick is Disturbed, the big rock band that went from, being known with the lead singer with the guy who's got like the 2 piercings on his chin, to more of a soccer mom rock band where it's just, they're too heavily reliant on ballads. And again, I keep saying this, I have no problem with ballads, but there's just so many bands that are too reliant on them now, and it just gets annoying and on my nerves because I know they can do so much better. I used to not necessarily be a fan, but I can sit down and enjoy their earlier stuff from like their first 2 or 3 albums. I mean, Stricken's one of my favorite, if not favorite, Disturbed songs of all time, so at least they can hit a home run. But recently, I just can't. Everybody was praising that 2016 cover of Sound of Silence, but it is the ugliest, worst cover I've ever heard, and David Draymond is not a good singer to where he can pull that off. It's just not possible. So I think the fact that they've just slowly turned into like this mainstream mom rock has really been the turnoff for me.
Coming in at number 2 is A Day to Remember, which, if you went on a car ride with me, I do blare a lot of their new stuff. Stuff like Mind Reader, Resentment, and that song they did with Marshmello. I do like The Downfall of Us All, and Second Sucks was pretty good. I don't know if the other, Degenerates, I think that's what it was called, was the other new song by them. But other than those several tracks that I mentioned, I can't really find myself to get into them, mainly because there's a song called If It Means a Lot to You, which is one of their most popular songs, and it does have Hayley Williams from Paramore, like how could you not go wrong? But in 10th grade or 11th grade, I had a guitar class, and that was like the main song we had to play for a couple of weeks, and like I wanted to play other stuff like Green Day or like a lot of the other bands that I was listening to at that time, so like I had to hear that song on repeat for like an hour straight for 2 or 3 weeks, and then once we played it for our concert, we didn't have to play it again anymore, and like every time I try to listen to it, I just can't. My wife likes it, but I can't find myself to listen to it and enjoy it. I just heard it so many times, it just got on my nerves. But a few months ago, I was getting into A Day to Remember, but then they released Brick Wall, and I would rather just have a conversation to a brick wall than listen to a brick wall by A Day to Remember. Like I had the ball rolling, I'm like, okay, these guys are pretty good, and they released that song, and I'm like, yeah, not really a big fan anymore, so that happened.
My next pick is In This Moment. Don't get me wrong, Maria Brink is a badass. I think she can hold her own, but for the most part, again, they've never been one that I've really got into. It's not that I think they're horrible. It's just, for the most part, for me, they're always very hit or miss. They'll, like, hit with one song, and then the next song, it'll just be, like, a complete and utter miss. They're just so inconsistent for me to really make a full decision as to whether I like them or not, and that's why they're on this list, because I feel like I can get into them, but their inconsistency kind of forces me to hold off that decision until they can prove to me that they can pull off song after song after song without having a dud in the middle.
So coming in at number 3 is Motionless in White, which is one of my ex's favorite bands. And I will admit, I do like a few of their new songs. I do like their cover of Dragula, but like the only couple of songs that I can listen to are pretty much their newer ones. Like, I like Another Life, that was a really good one. And then Voices was decent. Code was good. Headache, I think that's what it was called. There's only like 5, 6 songs I could listen to by them, but other than that, can't really find myself getting into them. Like, I checked them out a few years ago when I was dating my ex, and then like I tried to get back into them a couple years ago. Can't really do it, but I do like some of their new stuff, but I just can't go back and listen to it. Like, that stuff,
I don't know how many people are going to attack me for this one, pun intended. Attack. Look, I was late to the emo crabcore scene and whatnot, and I still think that, you know, bands back then like Attack, Asking Alexandria, at least the older stuff Asking Alexandria used to do, wasn't that great. And I still stand by that with Attack. I did enjoy their new song, mainly because it wasn't what I was expecting, to where it was like what they used to sound like, but I don't know. They went back and forth between lead singers, which really just made me go, oh, you know, I guess can't really tell you how I feel when the lead singer is constantly changing, so it's always like a different vocal type, but it was just cringy. It really, really was cringy. I mean, we can at least all look back on that and agree whether you like Attack or not. There's just music that doesn't age well, and crabcore and Attack are one of those ones that don't age well, and they were just, as much as I had friends telling me, hey, you should listen to them, this, that, and the other, you'd probably really like them, I never went out of the way to listen to the brand new Attack, or I wasn't upset when they broke up. I was just kind of like, oh, cool. At least we'll always have the meme of Stickly, so there's that.
So coming in at number 4 is Blink-182. I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for that, because I did go through a Blink-182 phase. Like, I love all the classics, like All the Small Things, I Miss You, Adam Song, and I do like some of their newer stuff. I forgot what song it was that I liked. I think it's called Up All Night. I think it was from their 2012 album. And then I liked a few songs on California, but and I do like I Really Wish I Hated You, which was on their most previous album, but other than that, I can't find myself listening to any Blink-182. Like, I find more interest in what Travis Barker is doing with other artists than I do with Blink-182. Then you're probably wondering, who's your favorite pop-punk band? I have to go with Green Day, which is my favorite band of all time. Like, it's a tie between them and Bring Me to the Horizon, but that's besides the point. Like, I just, for those couple of months, I would say I was a big fan, but I can't go back and listen to it. Like, those were the main songs I listened to then, and those were the only few songs I can stand now.
Another one that I can say probably used to be enjoyable that isn't so much now is Papa Roach. And I do agree with Crash Thompson. They have just hit the Imagine Dragon right on the head, and now they're sticking with that simple formula, and it's just so disappointing, because Infest to me, I think is okay, but once you start getting to like Getting Away with Murder and the Paramore sessions, it's a nice listen. The songs become more catchy and memorable, but then past that, in the 2010s, it's definitely got real bland and boring and just, I don't know, like their last album, Who Do You Trust, was just so, it was upsetting. Like I said, I almost fell asleep listening to it, and it wasn't even that long of an album, for God's sakes. I just couldn't believe it. And even Crooked Teeth, even though it had some songs on there that I did like, it was a step up from their previous couple albums, but in my head I'm still like, they can do better than this. Why are they going in this direction? There's been so many bands that were labeled nu metal early on that have gone on and, you know, changed their sound and done a lot better, but this band just seemed to like be like, oh, you know, the Imagine Dragons sound, that's what people want to hear, you know, the on drums and the you know, the simplistic like verse structure with the high powered chorus. That's what they're going for. They've perfected it, and I really despise them for that because they become boring in the process.
So coming in at number 5 is Deftones. And I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for that too, because I heard a lot of good things about their most recent album, which I heard it was a lot better than their one before that. But the only song I can listen to is Change in the House of Flies, which is one of my favorite songs of all time. I can't find myself to go through their entire catalog or part of their catalog and being like, I like this. I really couldn't. Like, I gave them a chance with their older stuff, gave them a chance with their newer stuff. I don't know. I mean, one day they might click, because there were a few bands that I didn't like growing up that I'm like, you know, they're pretty good now. But yeah, Deftones, I have a lot of respect for all these bands, more than I can say that I enjoy their music, which is the case with all these bands like I just said. My Aunt Melissa was a big fan, I think my cousin Eric was a big fan, but like I said, the only song that I can listen to is Change, and that one was just another childhood favorite that just so happened to stick around.
And my last choice is NoFX. They're one of the pop punk bands that I guess I could just never really get into. Like, they tried too hard to be funny and whatnot, and it's just not really funny. I guess I could have put Bowling for Soup here too, because they're another one that I never really got into. But NoFX has always just been, I feel like, the tryhards of the pop punk to really be that, like, edgy, like I said, kind of like teenage humor band. And to me, it's just never worked. It's not that I think they're horrible per se, but that thing right there is just what makes me just go completely away from them in general. It's just because, like, yeah, they're trying to be snotty, they're trying to be stupid, and it just doesn't work for the most part. There's definitely making it work, like you would have a Blink-182 or Green Day, but with NoFX, they just beat it to the ground until it's not funny anymore, and that's where they really, really fall flat with me.
I want to thank you so much, Austin, for letting me take part in this video. I'm sorry it took so long to get back to you, bro, and I can't wait for our Bring the Horizon collab, which will be coming out hopefully sometime within the next couple of months, because I'm starting to branch out and do music reviews again. So yeah, thank you so much, dude, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
So yeah, if you really enjoy like movie reviews, music reviews, and stuff like that, go check out my friend Esley's YouTube channel, Entertainment Fanatic Reviews. I will put the link to his channel in the description below. Go give him a subscribe. And again, thank you, Esley, for this collaboration. This is my first real collaboration with a YouTuber, so I do highly appreciate it, and maybe we can collab again. Hit the like button if you want to see us collab again, because I'm pretty sure we can make it work. But yeah, until then, stay safe out there, wear your mask, and I will catch you all in the next one.